2 weeks after an entertaining but unsatisfying draw in the Railroad City, Hartford Athletic and Indy 11 staged the rematch tonight here at Trinity Health Stadium. Hi, everybody. Along with Mark Donaldson, I'm Joe D'Ambrosio. That game 14 days ago had something for everybody except a win.
Yeah, funnily enough, both coaches, when we spoke to them this week, saying, no, we're taking absolutely nothing from it as far as preparing for this game is concerned.
1 goal for Hartford. Here it is.
Bad-tempered as well. Kyle Edwards, good strength, good finish, and he doesn't play tonight. We'll get onto that shortly. But the equalising goal, a little bit scrappy. Again, Hartford, poor defending. And another player who's not playing tonight, although we didn't know that until 2 hours ago, Jack Blake, who's taken a knock, does not feature for Indy.
One to watch, a guy who Tab Ramos desperately needs to get going, Prince Sadie.
Yeah, he's had 1 or 2 personal issues. That's the reason why he hasn't performed well since recovering from injury. Tab says he's been really impressed with him in training this week, and if he can get back to the form he showed prior to injury, then that is key for Hartford. And he will be in a front 3 this evening with Elvis Amo in the centre, and they're playing Edgardo Rito further forward up front on the right.
And one to watch for Indy 11, the rock in the middle, Aidan Quinn.
Yeah, alongside Lindley just now, but he's played the 14 games for Indy. He's played them all, he's started them all, and he's scored 3 goals as well. Very good from the spot, a good penalty taker, Aidan Quinn. And again, if he gets time to be the conductor of the orchestra for Indy 11 this evening, Hartford could be in a bit of bother.
Despite their problems, Hartford's still on the edge of the playoffs on the table.
They are, but with the nearby Travelers Golf Championship on the PGA just up the road, thankfully it's not the same rules, because if it was, Hartford would be in danger of missing the cut.
Starting lineups in the kickoff. We are glad you are with us on a beautiful Saturday night in Connecticut's capital city. Hartford Athletic and Indy 11 coming up next.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Achievement takes more than having a dream. It takes having the spirit to beat the odds. It takes the courage to pursue a passion, the heart to turn a house into a home, and the determination to turn an idea into an enterprise. I'm the Hartford Buck, and I see the human in human achievement.
With insurance from the Hartford, the Buck's got your back.
Oh, it's green here? No, that's right. Bro! The camera's getting me nervous here. Does this count? Ooh. What? I don't know. We got a 4th one? I do not. I can't do it. Oh! Woo! Well done.
Welcome back to Trinity Health Stadium. Hartford Athletic would like to thank the Mandel JCC, the official fitness center of Hartford Athletic. Visit mandeljcc.org to learn more. Last Fly Airport Parking is a proud partner of the Hartford Athletic. Save 20% on your airport parking by pre-booking on lastfly.com. Starting lineups brought to you by Liberty Bank. Match 16, lineup 16 for the home side.
16th different lineup, 4 changes and a change in goal. Number 1 to begin the season, Richard Sanchez replaces Joe Rice. Kyle Lewis has 3 goals in 3 games. Kyle Edwards, he is on the bench. And Edgardo Rito now starts further up the field, having joined in a swap Jessiel Cedeno at the start of the month. And welcome back now, Logue, the captain, returns alongside McGlynn and that.
We'll explain his story as we go along. Well, for Indy, the goal scorer against Hartford, Jack Blake, injured, will not play tonight.
Yeah, I'm actually speaking with his agent downstairs who's come to watch him, and I says, how's your trip? He goes, well, it could be better because the guy I'm here to watch isn't playing, Jack Blake. He picked up a knock earlier today. He's out. 3 changes. Blake and Molina and Jerome are replaced by Adrian Diaz, Pei, and Gustavo Risi, along with Macaulay King, who comes back into the side.
Diaz, Pei, and Risi had to sit out last week's game because of the red cards they endured in the Hartford game.
Let's hope as the game gets underway that we're not talking about the referee and the cards that the referee likes to dish out, and we're speaking about football and goals today, Joe.
Put over the touchline on the far side. It'll be a throw-in. Our referee, as you see, Emil Ailman, Brian Marshall, Jacob Little, his assistants, Hao Zhang, who we've seen before as the 4th official, working at the scorer's table.
A lot of talking points today, which we will get to for both sides, about why certain players are in and why certain players are out.
Luke Merrill, in his 4th start of the year, heads it over the touch line, so it'll be a throw-in for Indy 11. They come in 4, 6, and 4, 16 points, that's 7th in the Eastern Conference. 20 is Asante, 10 Harrison Robledo. Our keys to the game tonight are brought to you by the Hoffman Auto Group.
Yeah, pretty simple. From a Hartford perspective, 51 yellows and several red cards. They need to be better. And for Charleston, this is a fragile back line for Hartford, and they will get chances today.
Controlled by Athletic. Connor McGlynn. Back to Niall Logue. Sat out last week. Re-earned his starting spot in training this week. Sloppy pass by Sheldon. They wanted handball on McGlynn, but Emil Ailman said no. Now Rito, he had a quiet night in the loss last week against Charleston. Sheldon with some space. Back to Robin Lappert, back in the starting lineup. Now here's Sadie. Bad pass by Sadie. Sanchez calls off Lappert. Lines it up and gets it out of there. 78 degrees, winds out of the south at 12 miles an hour. Cam Lindley, or rather, I'm sorry, not Lindley, but Adrian Deespay is going to get booked here, I believe.
Certainly be spoken to. Don't see the card. It was a strong challenge on Prince Elvisamo. One thing I've noticed about Hartford at the back, Niall Logue started in the centre, Conor McGlynn to his right, and Robin Lappert in possession right now on the left. Something we can revisit as this game goes on.
McGlynn, who's been a rock in the starting lineup. Only Matt Sheldon has started more straight games. This is the 14th straight start for the veteran. Torres, back to McGlynn. The captain, Sebastian Guenzati, exerting pressure. Long ball too far. Over the touch line. Luke Merrill will throw it in. These teams meeting for the 7th time. Indianapolis has won 3. Hartford's won 2, both here at Trinity Health. And there's the one draw, which took place 2 weeks ago. Sheldon on the run up the left side. Marked by Younes Boudadi. And Boudadi earns the first yellow of the match
Former Hartford
in the
player.
4th minute.
Yeah, former Hartford player immediately getting involved and being spoken to. Boudadi's playing right wing back today. It has been Jack Blake, even although Jack's more of a defensive midfielder. And Macaulay King is the right centre back. That is a strong challenge on Matt Sheldon and an opportunity for Hartford, an early opportunity from the set play.
Set plays have not been their strength this year. Torres and Rito around the ball. Looks like it'll be Juan Pablo to put it into action. So an early yellow, 40th of the year for Indy. Hartford scoffs at that.
Yeah.
Says that's nothing.
Raise you by 11.
Here's Rito, or rather Torres, punched out by the former Athletic goalkeeper, Ertl, and it goes over the touchline. Last week, Hartford did not get a corner kick. 13 for Charleston, and the 13th resulted in the game-tying goal. Right after some loudmouth play-by-play guy said, oh, they've had 12 corners and haven't scored yet. Put towards the box. McGlynn will trap and reset. Back to Logue. In the middle. Pass deflected. Hartford maintains possession. Just the start of things here at Trinity Health Stadium. Ball in the middle, cleared back. Trinity Health of New England, proud to be the official medical provider and title partner of Hartford Athletic, always committed to providing the best healthcare experience every day for every patient. Trinity Health of New England, care that's always there.
Indy have got absolutely no issue whatsoever with any of the three Hartford central defenders having possession of the football. But one break from midfield from Cam Lindley there to put pressure on Hartford, and there's the mistake leading to an Indy throw-in. So it's when and where to press from Mark Lowry's side this evening.
Gustavo Risi, who got a late red card in the match at Thomas A. Carroll Stadium. A turnover. Torres looking to play it through, but Ertl comes out before Amo can run onto the ball.
Had another couple of yards. He could have gone into space before making either that pass or deciding to have a shot. Again, it's just the final decision, the decision-making in the final third from Hartford. But again, getting space in the middle of the park, that'll be something that Tab Ramos will be pretty happy about.
Lappert in the air. Deespe gets a foot on it. Sadie picks it up for Hartford. Quinn took down Andre Lewis, who got on the board last week. His first goal of the season. Kind of been a fractured season for Andre Lewis.
Well, literally, a facial injury
Yes.
and the orbital fracture.
Yeah, it was not meant in a joking manner by any stretch.
That was at Colorado in March. It took him 4 to 6 weeks to recover. Actually played some games wearing a mask, Andre Lewis. But once again, Joe, Hartford without a recognised defensive midfielder. So Juan Pablo Torres is playing that position, although it's not what he's at his best.
And Juan Pablo Torres, Marcus, Tab Ramos told it, he's a guy who's been beaten down.
Yeah, he's tired, and he's going to get a few days off after this game to go back to Atlanta to see his family. So 90 minutes more effort, and then he can get a bit of a rest.
Native of Leeburn, Georgia. Foul called against Amo in the middle of the field.
Yeah, so the interesting thing we've seen so far, why is Kyle Edwards not starting? Well, he would start if it was two up top, but they can't play as a three with both Edwards and Elvis Amo because...
With Sadie and Amo.
No, it's of the three of them.
Yes.
With Sadie, with Amo, and with Edwards, because they'd have to have Edwards wide, and that is not something they want to do. If they're playing a two up top, it will be Amo and it will be Edwards, so that's why Edwards isn't playing.
McGlynn for Lappert in the box. Gets a head on it, but Ertl out to play it easy. 26-year-old from Munich.
Something Hartford did a lot at the start of the season, aiming at the back post for the usually defensive header back across goals, and maybe trying to get back to basics for Hartford. But just going back to Elvis Amo, that's twice he's been fouled in that area of the pitch. He's not frightened to come deep. Not an easy player to man mark because you don't want your centre-backs dragged out.
Ertl up on the right side for Macaulay King. Just his second start for Indianapolis. Sanchez plays it on the hop.
Yeah, they're appealing Indy for a deliberate pass back. Did have some merit. Referee thought otherwise. Did look to his assistant for guidance.
Sheldon finds Torres open in the middle. Juan Pablo distributes back.
Look here for options, Joe, for Hartford. It's good pressing, but it's individual pressing from Genzati on Andre Lewis. So they'll pick and choose their moments when they're going to press here. And they're more than happy, Indy, to allow Niall Logan and other centre-backs possession of the football.
Because they know they're not going to get hurt.
Correct. Lappert, for me, slightly surprising. I thought he might play on the right, Niall Logan on the left, because Niall's left-footed and McGlynn in the middle, but he's not.
Amo did a good job using his body to shield Deespe. Here's Andre Lewis in the middle for Amo. He turns, fires it wide. Good setup from Andre Lewis, but Amo couldn't find the target, and it'll be a goal kick.
That's a big chance for Elvis Amo, because just by dropping short a little bit, he's taken the defender away. And as Macaulay King finds himself trying to get close, the shot's already off because Elvis Amo had got 2 or 3 yards of space. That's definitely a chance, and that's definitely a foul by Robin Lappert.
Tonight is Junior Fire Marshal Night. Please join us in thanking founding partner The Hartford for educating children about fire safety with their Junior Fire Marshal program. Visit juniorfiremarshal.com to learn more. I just have been awarded a Junior Fire Marshal hat.
Yeah, it's going. That's going back to my 5-year-old daughter, but we need photographic evidence.
Yes,
on your head right now. But it's a great evening. It's a great opportunity. Loads of kids in attendance, and there's loads of things for them to do here at Hartford Athletic, and that's thanks to so many people, volunteers and staff members behind the scenes. And once again, a really good crowd in attendance on a Saturday night to watch Hartford. The only thing that's missing this season, from their perspective, is some wins.
Hartford just 1-3-3 on their home pitch. Back to Ertl. Played his college soccer at the University of Central Florida. He was 3-time American Athletic Conference Goalkeeper of the Year. Now a chance. Here's Quinn. Wasted pass, and Richard Sanchez with the goal kick. Are you surprised that we see Sanchez back in net tonight?
Good question. Yes and no, because I don't think Joe Rice has been that bad. He had a wonderful save from a penalty kick, and I thought some of Sanchez's play earlier in the season was decent, but he had some moments and you're thinking, is he going to hold on to his number 1 jersey? So he's got it back, and it's up to him to keep it now.
That penalty kick save against Detroit, Joe Rice was nominated for USL Save of the Week. It's kind of like we were talking before. If you get named Player of the Month for Hartford, you either find your way out of town or on the bench.
Yes, Cedeno, April Player of the Month, sold, swap deal for Rito. May Player of the Month, Kyle Edwards, 3 goals in 3 games, and he's on the bench. Free kick for Indy here. Just want to take you back to maybe a minute or so ago when Aidan Quinn put that through ball. The problem was Hartford lacking a defensive midfielder. Juan Pablo Torres, it's not his game. He's an 8. He's not a 6. He's being asked to play a 6.
Now explain that to people who might not be familiar with the terminology.
Okay, if you've got a 6, an 8, and a 10. 6 is the deepest lying central. 8 is more kind of middle, and a 10 is the guy who, or the girl who would support the striker if you're playing a 6 and an 8 and a 10, or 2 of the 3. So 6 is the deepest lying playmaker, who's basically the protector for the back 4 or the back 5 or the back 3, whatever you want.
Luke Merrill did a nice job on the far touch line there. 23, the ex-Athletic player, Yunus Boudadi, who led Hartford in minutes played last year. Played almost 2,800 minutes.
Yeah, he's good going forward. Defensively, again, that might be something that Hartford want to try and exploit, but he's a super player going forward and can cause Hartford problems. You always have players that go back to their old club or have some sort of relevance with the opposition that maybe have an extra spring in their step.
Here's Macaulay King, acquired May 12th from Colorado Springs. Sends it toward Guenzati. Double teamed. Bangs it off McGlynn out of bounds.
What's the chances of Opino being booked tonight?
None, unless he says something from the stands.
That was said tongue firmly in cheek.
Sort of.
He still manages to find a way, and he's suspended tonight.
He was out here
Hartford
2 hours before game time working out with Kembo Cabato, who we could see as early as the next home game, July 8th, against San Diego Loyal. Here's the diminutive Asante, far post. No problems for Richard Sanchez.
A very even and close opening quarter of an hour.
Only one shot. That was the Amo shot. Nice play by Rito. Gets it back. Here's Merrill. to an open Lewis. Lewis fakes, tries to load up, puts it on goal, sails it wide. From the top of the box.
That's what might have been. Rito involved. Again, they're starting to get him more involved. But Andre Lewis here, look at the space for Andre Lewis. They have dropped really deep. He wants to get it on his favoured foot. By then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red jerseys and a goalkeeper between him and the goal. Good move from Hartford. Got to try and exploit that with Rito, but they've got to do better in that position.
Solomon Asante, as if he was shot out of a cannon, starts the counter. Up on the left side to Reese. Plays in the box. Sheldon heads it away. Now Torres. Gives it over on the left. Matt Sheldon, who's gone the distance his last 5 matches. On the left, Sadie. For Amo. One touch back to Sadie. Sends it back across to space. Here's Luke Merrill. Chips towards the box. Deespe. Knocks it out of there. It's going to be a foul on Luke Merrill. And it'll be a free kick for the 11. Tonight's presenting partner of the match is the Hartford. As you get a look at Gustavo Risi from Aras, Brazil, getting his 5th start of the year.
One of 3 red cards when the sides met a couple of weeks ago.
Sold out of red cards that night.
A funky game, wasn't it?
Entertaining but bizarre. Now the 5'5 Asante matched up with the 6'4 Connor McGlynn. Taken away by Amo to Sadie. One touch to Lewis. Feeds Amo. He's got Sheldon in support on the left. Elvis, who hasn't gotten a shot off in the last 2 games. Back to Lappert, and they try to switch the field with Logue and Connor McGlynn.
Yeah, so Connor McGlynn in possession. I think I've kind of worked out why they're playing him on the right-hand side, because he's the spare defender, and he'll be asked to push into midfield to close down Indy.
Sheldon tries to get an advantage on Budati. Chips it in. Deespe plays it over in the first quarter kick of the match for Hartford Athletic.
That makes sense from Hartford to have 3 centre-backs, which I think they need because they played 4 against Detroit and it didn't work. But if you've only got 1 striker, you're always going to have a spare player. And with Connor McGlynn able to get forward and to put pressure on them from the ball or create, and it can lead to things like this, Hartford's first corner.
Should Ertl have called off Deespe there? I mean, the ball? No, it's all right. It'll be Juan Pablo Torres from the right of Ertl at the north goal. Sails through untouched by human feet. Here's a shot sailed over the goal by Luke Merrill, and it'll be a goal kick at the north end for Indy 11.
That's 2 set plays from Hartford, and I like them. I like that one where you've got a centre-back going near post, getting the flick. That's what causes confusion. So much improved from Hartford so far to try and keep Indy guessing, and there's that press to win it back.
Tab Ramos liked the way his team performed in training this week.
Training ground internationals are, well, there's been millions of them over the years. It's get the job done and don't make mistakes like that from Rito. But yeah, I mean, there were players who weren't playing in this game if Tab was to name his side for it on Monday. But he said they did so well in training, 1 or 2 of them, that they went from being on the outside looking in to starting tonight.
Up ahead it goes, too far for Robledo, but he will run onto it. Harrison Robledo plays it back in the middle, gets it back. Top of the box, 1 touch, Robledo tries to get it through. Quinn will keep it in, plays it in the direction of Merrill, chasing it down against Reese. We'll let it roll over the touch line. It'll be a throw-in for Luke Merrill.
You just came out with a comment there, that's too far for Robledo, and it was. But because there was no left wing-back, he still had time to get possession, and that's an issue for Hartford, the left wing-back area. Opino is suspended. Tristan Hodge, who's played there and also played as a defensive midfielder, is away with Trinidad and Tobago. So they've left themselves with Sheldon, who'll do a fine job. I'm sure he's someone that gives his all, Matt Sheldon. Again, it's not an ideal position for someone like Sheldon.
Here's Robledo. Drops it back to Asante. Gets to the goal line. Knocked away. Merrill touches it out. It'll be the first corner kick of the night.
Yeah, the way that Indy played that, they kind of played it short, but the players on the right-hand side went over towards the centre, and they took the Hartford players with them. That leaves space in behind, in that left wing-back area for Hartford that Indy can exploit.
Golf's biggest stars wrap up their week at Cromwell tomorrow. Final round of the Travelers Championship. For tickets and information, visit travelerschampionship.com. Keegan Bradley, New Englander, St. John's alum.
Yeah.
Up 2 shots on former champ Ches Reavie. Should be a great final day. Ricky Fowler
60.
put up a Mark Donaldson type score today with a 60.
Yeah, that's per hole for me, though.
That's all right. It's fine.
Patrick Cantley, 61. You and I were there yesterday. It's one of the best organized tournaments, and the players
It's phenomenal.
love it. It really is. The Travelers and everyone involved do such a good job at River Highlands. Just a few minutes from here.
Yeah, about 10 minutes south on 91 and Route 9. Here's a chip. McGlynn gets to it, and Robledo taken off the ball by Lewis. Indy maintains possession. They change fields. Into the box, Lapper
It's a foul.
plays it, but we got a foul against Asante. This is not a team that you wouldn't mind playing basketball against. Robledo 5'7", Asante 5'5".
Yeah, but you remember guys like Muggsy Bogues. You remember these little point
Oh, of
guards
course, yes,
that
absolutely.
could easily destroy you. You don't.
Right.
You look one way and the ball's already away. It's what they can do with the ball. And Asante, I mean, in this league, he knows what he's doing, and he's been a really good servant, and he's one to watch.
Had the third best goal-scoring season in league history with Phoenix in 2019, 23 goals. Indy as a team has 15 this year, only 4 in the initial 45 minutes. No score as we play the 22nd minute at Trinity Health Stadium in Hartford. Captain Niall Logue advances on the left. Sheldon drops it back to Lappert, pressured by Asante, so he'll go off on the right to McGlynn.
It's a 5-4-1 for Indy when they're defending.
Merrill. He's a Ferrito. Back to Lewis. To an open Torres, looking to create. Distributes to Lappert. Finds Sheldon. 1v1 with Asante. Now Torres. No space for Hartford once they get into the Indy 11 defensive half, so Hartford retreats and resets.
Options. Again, none going forward. Has to go back. I don't mind the patient build-up.
Now Robin Lappert took Kave Rod's spot in the starting lineup. Rod, 14 starts on the year. Merrill sent sprawling by Reese.
The patient build-up is fine if you keep possession of the ball. If your ball retention is good, then no problem whatsoever. Because what the opposition then has to do is they have to run further and chase. But it's when you try and overpass. But they need to have more options to be able to do that. Whether it's Elvis Amo, whether it's Prince Sadie, whether it's Rito playing in a rather unusual position for him, although I think it's certainly worth trying. They have to do more to be options when Hartford have possession of the football.
Torres and Rito over the ball. 4 players, 5 Hartford players, including Lapper at the top of the box. Played along the ground to McGlynn. Chips it up ahead to Rito. Can't control. Taken off it by Budani. And Indy 11 will try to get it out. They do. Here comes the red-clad Indy 11, the boys in blue. Lead ball for Robledo.
It's a foul.
Foul called, I believe, was that Luke Merrill. So, Indy will set up.
No, he's given the throw.
Oh, he's going to give him a throw, not a bounce.
Initially indicated that it might be a foul, but he's had second thoughts. But again, that was really good from Indy, coming out from the back, not panicking. Again, they had options, and they find themselves with possession.
And Carly King plays it across. Jesus Vasquez. Up ahead on the left to Dispe. Now Robledo. Double team, slide tackle, keeps possession.
If I'm Indy, I'm trying to get this over to this right-hand side, wherever possible.
Now Adrian Dispe in the middle to an open Asante. Chips towards the goal. Logue knocks it down. Asante sends one that Sanchez, even though it was outside the post, dives and picks it up.
That'll do him the power of good. You always want a nice early touch, and it's taken until 24.5 minutes into this game for Richard Sanchez to actually have a shot to save. He's had one plucked out of the air. It's a decent enough hit.
Yeah, wasn't a bad strike by Solomon Asante. 33-year-old from Ghana. 21 caps for his native team. Now Lewis on the right. Merrill. Seen a lot of action so far. Hartford going down that right side an awful lot here in the first 25. Lyco Office Furniture, a proud sponsor of Hartford Athletic for over 40 years. Lyco Office Furniture has been furnishing startup to Fortune 500 companies all over New England. Go to lycoinc.com to learn more. The captain, Guenzotti, gets ahead on it, but McGlynn is there to pick it up for Hartford and restart. Torres off the one touch to a rushing Merrill on the right side. Luke Merrill intended for Rito, but knocked away by Lindley. Given back to Sheldon. Hartford has controlled the time of possession. Tab Ramos motioning on the bench. Wants his team to push. Here's Prince. Sadie with Budati, and Budati
He's going to goal kick.
calls a goal kick.
Yep. Remember, before his injury, Prince started a lot on the right-hand side, but they've got Rito playing in that position.
Banged it off his knee. Good play
That's a good
by
goal.
Yunus Budati. And a good call
Yep.
by Emil Ailman.
Yeah, and he's a referee that's dished out more cards recently than a Vegas magician. And there was a concern, given Hartford's propensity for getting a yellow and red, that this could turn into a card fest. But referee and the officials so far have been good.
Along with Mark Donaldson, I'm Jody Ambrosio. Tom Stanwick's our producer, Bobby Kaplan our director, and our power station crew at Trinity Health. No score. Nice spin by Amo, but taken off his boot and cleared up the field. But once again, Hartford able to pick up the ball without much pressure on the defensive half. It's when they get close to midfield that Indy, in the visiting red, puts the pressure on. Lewis gets away from a double team, and Logue will distribute right to McGlynn. Here's Lewis trying to spin and go. He's held, and the foul is called. During the week, in our conversation with Tab Ramos, he said he wanted Lewis to play like Frankie de Jong, the great midfielder of Barcelona.
We can all dream. This is a concern.
Indy player down and hurt, and the head athletic trainer Josh Frankham runs onto the pitch. As you get a look at our official, Emil Ailman talking to Macaulay King.
Been intrigued by the setup for Indy. Now it's pretty much a rigid 5-4-1. They will try and get the two wide players at the back from the five forward into midfield, and one of the midfielders in support of Guenzotti. But this is a Hartford defense that, for me, is very gettable. It's been gettable by Detroit, who struggled to score before they came here. It's been gettable by Charleston, who weren't exactly scoring loads of goals before they came here. I can totally understand what Mark Lowry is doing, because he knows that middle to front Hartford can be a threat, and he's trying to make sure there's not enough space for them. But I think as this game goes on, as long as it's 0-0, I start to think you might see Indy begin to get a little bit more adventurous, because they'll believe that they can have opportunities to test Richard Sanchez.
Cam Lindley was the injured player, and he's already back on the pitch. 4-1 shots in favor of Hartford. No shots on target thus far. Neither keeper has had to make a save. Here's Sanchez atop the box, just long ball, and Yannick Ertl looks like a big highlighter out there.
A wasted play from Richard Sanchez. I don't have a problem if Hartford go long into the corners, but why are you aiming at Prince Sadie? They do win it back. Let's see what they can do with it here.
Lewis ahead for Amo, but knocked away by Dispe. Sheldon picks it up, cuts to the middle. Square ball on the right. Up ahead to Rito. Knocked away by Vasquez. And Hartford will get its second corner of the match here as we are in the 30th minute. Tonight's youth soccer teams of the match, Avon Soccer and Glastonbury Soccer. So once again, it'll be Torres, this time from the left of Yannick Ertl. You get a look at Juan Pablo playing his 10th match for Athletic. Sends it in, and Ertl elevates, fumbles it, and Amo can't get it on goal. Lappert was there with Ertl. Both Lappert and Ertl are down, as well as Elvis Amo. Looks like I-91 at rush hour.
Or trying to get in and out the Travelers.
Well, that too, but that's only 1 week a year.
This is in. Look at the referee here. He doesn't blow until there. It looks like he's given the goal kick. Now, if he has done, and Hartford had been able to put the ball in the back of the net, I think the goal would have stood. Now, they are warming up their backup goalkeeper, Tim Trilk, who's got his gear on and looks like he's ready to come on. You can't take any chances. I think it might have been more the landing for the former Hartford goalkeeper, because I'm not sure how involved Robin Lappert was, and from what we saw in the replay, that referee didn't blow his whistle until he indicated what looked like a goal kick. This looks like a basketball, an NBA timeout, or a college basketball.
Using a whiteboard.
Yeah.
Try to draw something out. As you look at the head athletic trainer, Josh Frankham, work on the 28-year-old from Munich, Yannick Ertl. He has played every minute of every game thus far. Let's get to see what we can see on this here.
Yeah, this will be an interesting replay. While Ertl gets checked, they seem to be pretty happy. Let's have another look, if we can, at what happened from the corner. So it's kind of floated in. The contact, I think he gets
got
a
kicked
boot
in the back of the head.
I think that's what happened.
Yep.
And Robin Lappert doesn't know anything about it, because Lappert is involved with the defender, and as Lappert's flying through the air, he lands nasty, but also his flying boot makes contact with the goalkeeper. So glad they're both okay, and on we go.
Yep, both good to go. Here's Budati. Plays it up ahead for Robledo. There's the captain, Guenzati.
So if that had ended up in the back of the net, Hartford had scored, they probably would have got the goal, and it would have been the wrong decision, because there was a foul, even though it was inadvertent, by Robin Lappert on this man with possession right now.
Up ahead to Guenzati, who comes back to help form up, but he gives it away. Lewis absorbs the hit, gives to Sheldon. In the middle for Amo. Back to Lewis. Square right. Here's Luke Merrill with space against the Sante. Decides to go back to McGlynn. Connor McGlynn to an open Juan Pablo Torres. Once again to McGuinn. Now Logue changes fields to Lappert on the left. Sheldon open on the touchline. Cuts to the middle. Hartford stringing passes together here, but really just going side to side.
Yeah, I want to see them be braver, Joe. I want to see them, maybe a couple of centre-backs, taking the ball for a walk and then finding that pass, because they've got an option.
Lewis tries the back heel flip. Taken away. And Robledo can't get away from Torres. Sheldon cuts left to Sadie. Here's Prince, 1v1. Chips towards the box and headed out of way there by the 6'4", Adrian Dispe. Hartford maintains possession. They've had the better of possession here, but nothing on target among their 4 shots. Torres to Sadie. Chips, Dispe clears it out.
Much, much better from Hartford. That started about 60 seconds ago because Hartford pressed with 3 or 4. And they haven't done that all the time, which I totally get because it's hard work doing it, but much better from Hartford.
McGlynn in the middle. Dishes right to Luke Merrill. Now, Edgardo Ritos. McGlynn pressured in the middle to Lewis. Lewis turns away from trouble and starts up the pitch to a wide open Lappard on the left flank. They give him space. Now Sheldon. They don't give him space. Double team. Knocks it off a red shirt. And in the 35th minute, third corner of the match for the home team. No score. Hartford trying to end a 5-match winless streak. So, here's Torres from the right of Yannick Ertl. He's got Rito short, about 10 yards away up the left touchline.
I'll be playing this deep and heading it back across goal.
Punched out. McGlynn, volley, deflected, cleared. Reese gets it out of danger. Hartford Athletic would like to thank Nuovo Pasta, Connecticut, and Stop and Shop for supporting our Goals for Meals program. For every Hartford Athletic goal scored this year, Nuovo Pasta, Connecticut, and Stop and Shop will donate meals to the Stop and Shop School Food Pantry program.
So, it's an okay delivery. You want a bit more pressure on the goalkeeper, and it's a decent hit by McGlynn that's blocked. But the whole passage of play there had Tab Ramos at the edge of his technical area applauding, even although it was an overhit pass by Juan Pablo Torres for Edgardo Rito. It's been better than what we've seen. It's been patient, but they haven't been tested defensively. That's the kind of the proof of the pudding is in the eating.
Logue called for a foul that Tab Ramos did not agree with, put his head in his hands as he went to sit back down on the bench. Robledo, but good job by Sadie.
Yeah, much better.
Very good by Prince Sadie. Now Lewis. Torito on the right. Edgardo looks for cutters. Finds Sadie in the box. Back to Lewis. Robledo closed on him. Torres sends it wide. Once again, a little too slow there in the box, to me.
Yeah, so Prince Sadie's cutback, Andre Lewis is saying to him, make that cutback to me better. It wasn't a good cutback, and in return it makes it a more difficult pass for Juan Pablo Torres. But they're switching it better. They're getting it in behind. Maybe with a bit more pace would be better, but there, it's just accuracy. And they're not far away. Much better movement. They can keep that going. I think they'll be able to trouble Ertl a little bit more.
Indy 11 called for 6 fouls, Hartford 5. Here's Elvis Amo in the box, and Ertl comes out to knock it away. Rito gets there first for Athletic. Tackled off the ball by Deespe, and here's Deespe. Nice job by the tall Cuban. Gets it tackled away. Hartford back. Lewis. Double team. Rito on the right. Sends it towards Amo, but it sails harmlessly wide of the goal. It'll be a goal kick for Indianapolis, for Indy 11 in this scoreless match as we head for the 39th minute.
That's really good from Yannick Ertl. He's really quickly out because Elvis Amo one-on-one would have fancied himself there. He tried to play it as quick as he could and get it underneath the body of the German goalkeeper, the former Hartford shot stopper. But he was out so quick and he was able to smother. Really good goalkeeping, but another chance for Hartford because they're moving it around better and they're capitalizing. And it all starts as well, or one of the reasons why they had possession there was Prince Sadie getting the ball back with a decent tackle in the middle of the park. They're working for each other.
Mark Lowry, the second-year head coach of Indy 11, said that Ertl is aggressive with great feet. We saw that there.
He's a good goalkeeper.
Yep.
He's a big goalkeeper, so he's difficult to pass, but he's also very agile.
17 goals against, 38 saves, 4 clean sheets. Here's Quinn to Asante, but Torres is there to slow it down. Now Robledo. Budati and Robledo play catch. Hartford has had the ball about 60% of the time, but thus far as we head for the 40th minute, neither team with a shot on target.
Hartford has done well stopping Indy from attacking the areas that Hartford are weakest. But it all begins with the attack of Hartford defending from the front.
The lanky Deespe off to Macaulay King. Once again, no Jack Blake, who scored the game-tying goal against Athletic 2 weeks ago at Michael A. Carroll Stadium in Indianapolis. King, pressured by Sadie, gets it back. Sheldon there. And Sheldon's taken down, and that'll be a foul on Macaulay King.
Yeah, it's mistimed more than malicious from Macaulay King. The ball just getting away from him, and he was desperate to atone for his mistake and just left a boot in there on Sheldon. So another free kick for Hartford. Hartford have been better in possession in this game so far than Indy has. That's a foul, it's nothing more.
Hartford Athletic would like to extend a special thanks to our partners, Jim Beam Bourbon and Hornitos Plata Tequila. We head for the midway through the 41st minute with no score. Robin Lappert to Sheldon. One touch for Sadie. Tries to give it to Amo, but he's cut off by Quinn, and Amo gets called for the foul.
I spoke about 10 minutes ago about defenders being braver. Connor McGlynn was there. Took it on a little bit of a run as well. He's the player you want in position. He's the best with the ball at his feet because he's a defensive midfielder, albeit playing as a centre-back where he's done well in. But to be honest, they haven't really posed too many problems for the Hartford back division. I wouldn't be surprised if Mark Lowry decided to maybe just make their starting positions a little bit further forward to try and press Hartford a little further up the park.
Sebastian Guenzati comes back to help restart the attack to Robledo. Reese plays it back. Lewis watching the man. Now King open on the right. Chests it down. Plenty of room to run. Gives the ball to Robledo. Torres closes on him.
Too slow from Indy this.
Yeah, really no pace to the attack. Logue will let it play through to the keeper, Richard Sanchez. One of the few times he's had to touch the ball here in the opening 45.
Yeah, there's not been much pace to the game. So there, for example, Indy had a 2-on-1 in either the right centre-back area or the right wing-back area, right full-back area. They've got to make more of that because it's basically the two players up against a defender who doesn't normally play on this side, in Matt Sheldon, but he's done well there, and he gets a foul.
Pushed down by Robledo. Mark Lowry said his team is 8 to 10 points out of where they should be. Said they've struggled with injuries. It's a team that they've really done a lot of rebuilding of. 4 new players since the season starts, 7 since the first of the year.
Yeah, just 5 players on their matchday squad this evening were at the club last year. So he's saying they should have had how many more points than they have?
He says 8 to 10 points off where they should be.
Okay, Hartford have given up 13 points.
Yes, lost 13 points from the winning position.
From a winning position. So, yeah, any manager can say they should be
right
on more points than they are.
Again,
table doesn't lie, though, does it?
No. As the great Bill Parcells once said, you are what your record says you are.
Exactly. You're at the foot of the table. There's a reason you're at the foot of the table. And for Hartford, it's been injuries. It's been suspension due to ill discipline. It's been an inability to name the same team in back-to-back games because of that. And it's just been defensive deficiencies.
Especially late.
Late on. It's just focused for 90 minutes. And 13 points that they've lost from being ahead in games. Wow, that takes some doing.
Sadie almost had an interception and then pushes King down, and Emil Ailman with the whistle.
Joe, there's only so many times you can say I don't think they're far away. I honestly still believe that I don't think they're far away. But if you've got a decision to make on a summer's night to take the family to the football where you haven't seen them win much or to do something else, Hartford fans have been really loyal this season. And if they can get back to winning ways, the football team, then these crowds will continue.
Guenzati ahead on the left side to Risi. Now Asante cuts to the middle. Robledo on the run. Robledo can't tee it up because of Sheldon. Asante Back to Reese on the left. Chips towards the box. Sanchez said, let it fly. Goal kick, Hartford. I would not think we will have much stoppage time here.
No, it's been a
crisp first 45.
It has. It's been well handled by the match officials, and the players deserve credit as well. They've not been overly naughty. Richard Sanchez couldn't have asked for a quieter first half back in the side.
Brignall Vineyard stoppage time. There are 3 minutes of stoppage time. That seems about right.
That's fair.
From the south end of Trinity Health Stadium. Long boot by Sanchez. Torres to Sheldon. Plays it head on the left to Sadie. Kept it in against King.
Wow. I mean,
Gets obstructed, pushed down. Foul is called.
There were 3 fouls in there by Macaulay King. He had a tug of his jersey twice and then the foul in the end. Have a look at this.
It's 3 for $1 night.
There's one.
Grabbed his jersey. I mean, almost undressed him.
Still got it. Still got. I mean, how?
I think Sadie was appealing for a yellow, and now the referee is calling King over to talk to him.
I've commentated and watched thousands of games of football in my life. I still don't know what a yellow card is and what a yellow card isn't, or what a red card is, or what a red card isn't, because you see one incident there that's a yellow card one week and would be with some of the referees that Hartford have had this season, and that wasn't.
So, potential dangerous set piece to the right of Ertl, Torres, and Rito. There, the crowd, the supporters, trying to urge the home 11 on. Not the Indy 11, the home 11. Torres gets the whistle. Chips far post. Lappert gets a head on it, but sends it out under the scoreboard, and it'll go as a goal kick for Indy 11.
One of the things that Hartford have had this season, last season, is an ability from set plays with Danny Barrera, among others, to take them. Now, Juan Pablo Torres has come in, and he's been fine. I think he was better when he first came in for maybe the first 5 or 6 games. Now he's being forced to play in a position that's a little bit unfamiliar to him. He is an 8 and he's playing as a 6, but I haven't seen the quality of his set plays match the quality of Danny Barrera's set plays, albeit you'd get 90 from Juan Pablo Torres, where you might not get the full 90 from Danny. So that might be an option in the second half for Tab to bring on Danny Barrera, because the subs have done a pretty vigorous warm-up, including Danny down there, who's taking a well-earned break with the rest of the replacements.
Lewis, like he was shot out of a bottle, tries to dribble around Cam Lindley. Finds some space. Rito's open on the right. Traps. Chips. Far post. King will get there first. And it will go over the touchline. Throw in for Hartford. Sheldon will take it as we approach the final seconds of stoppage time in this scoreless first half. Long throw by Sheldon. Taken by King. Headed out by Deespe, but right to Sheldon. Bangs it off the Indy player. And it'll be a corner for Hartford.
This game reminds me a little bit of the
fourth corner of the match for Hartford Athletic. Chips it towards the goal. Knocked away. Sheldon. And we've come to halftime. So Hartford has had the better of play. 7 shots to 1, 1 on target. Then Ertl came off the line to play with his feet. But through the first 45, we are scoreless. Hartford Athletic and Indy 11. Back with our halftime next. You're watching USL Championship on MyTV9 and ESPN+.
Our students are looking to stand out, not blend in, which is a good thing considering the 8-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio. USJ's academic experience is built on dynamic learning opportunities that extend into labs, internships, and collaboration with faculty, and are designed to both challenge and support students in their professional development, So if you're looking for an education that will help you make your mark in the world, visit usj.edu.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Achievement takes more than having a dream. It takes having the spirit to beat the odds. It takes the courage to pursue a passion, the heart to turn a house into a home, and the determination to turn an idea into an enterprise. I'm the Hartford Buck, and I see the human in human achievement.
With insurance from the Hartford, the Bucks got your back.
Announcing the inaugural Capital City Music and Beer Festival, presented by Hoffman Auto. 80s Night with a Flock of Seagulls on July 14th, and Reggae Vibrations Tour with the legendary Wailers on July 15th. 2 days, 6 bands, and 40 brands of beer.
45 minutes in at Trinity Health Stadium. No score between Hartford Athletic and Indy 11. Hartford, though, the better possession, better chances.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of the Louisville City game, the 0-0 game, and most of these chances are likely to be towards Ertlev's goal. He had a bit more time there, Elvis Amo. That was certainly a decent opportunity that he's had, and again, coming from that right-hand side, that's where they can get space. Because Andre Lewis is very right-footed, not comfortable at all when he's got all that space on his left, by the time he gets it back on his right, it becomes a harder chance. So then the corner kick that swung in. I want to see them do more of this. Someone attacking the near post. Who knows when it's going to break? Yes, it might go wide from Luke Merrill, but again, it keeps them guessing. And the 4 corners Hartford have had, a couple of them have been all right, but set plays from free kicks haven't been great. As far as the opposition is concerned, yeah, Asante from distance. Richard Sanchez, no real trouble. It was going wide. Anyway, goalkeeper had to make sure that he didn't spill it. But I think there'll come a time in the second half, if it remains 0-0, where Mark Lowry will start to push the gamble button a little bit more in a bid to get all 3 points. No foul there on the Uruguayan striker, and here's the chance. Keeper out really quickly. There's not much room, but he does well to turn his man, Elvis Amo. That touch doesn't help him, and it allows the goalkeeper to come out. So the first part was good, the second part wasn't, the third part was the goalkeeper doing his job.
Let's get a look at the numbers from the first half. Shot 6-1 in favor of Hartford. Hartford with more possession and 1 yellow card.
Yeah, if I'm Tamara Amos, I'm pleased. I'm pleased because it's not a repeat of the Detroit City game. I'm pleased because they're not as open as they were against Charleston. I'm pleased because they've been a little braver on the ball as well. But for Mark Lowry, the way he's set up, that's to be expected, these stats at half-time. But once they decide that they feel that this might be a game that's there for the winning, then that could cause trouble for Hartford at the back.
Scoreless in the first 45. Back with more of our halftime next. You're watching USL Championship on MyTV9 and ESPN+.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Taxes man, left foot, and it's a first-time shot, and a goal! Luis Fernando! It's turned over. Babu Karjani to put it away! Phoenix Rising will take all 3 points, 3-1 Rising!
If anyone thinks cancer is going to define you, they've got another thing coming. We know you are more than someone healing their heart. At Trinity Health, we know the importance of seeing the person behind the patient, the fear, the joy, the journey. Bringing you the expert medical teams and state-of-the-art technological advancements of a national health system, along with the personalized care that helps you feel better. Because we see all of you.
Halftime at Trinity Health Stadium. No score between Hartford Athletic and Indy 11. Our USL Championship storylines. A coaching change taking place on the shores of South Beach.
Yeah, Miami. FC Miami have, I love it, mutually agreed to part ways with Anthony Pulis. What do you think? Think it's time for you to go, or you're fired? Don't come back. We'll pay you what you're due, blah, blah, blah. Lewis Neal has replaced him on an interim basis. Tell you what, that's not a bad gig, is it? You might have, in fact, you will have some superstars arriving on South Beach soon. You could do Inter Miami and FC Miami. Birmingham, Dominique Wilkins, remember him, the Human Highlight film. He was a big boy and could move as well. He's joining Birmingham Legion's ownership group. So many sportsmen and women from different sports getting involved in football now. And German roots, see what they've done there? Ethan Kohler transferring to Werder Bremen. And he's likely to initially spend time on their under-23 side to see if he can get into their first team job.
I see what you were doing there. Let's check out our standings in USL Championship in the Eastern Conference. Charleston Battery tonight takes on Memphis 901 FC. Pittsburgh Riverhounds are home to San Diego Loyal, who will be here in 2 weeks.
Can you find me another league anywhere in the world that the team at the top have a negative goal difference?
I don't think so.
It kind of says that there's probably not too much between the team at the top and the others that are chasing. For me, Memphis FC, Memphis 901 have been the best team that have come here. Just to kind of, if you're just joining us, I want to give you a little idea of that first half from an Indy 11 perspective. They've got a very good social media presence. 53 minutes ago, they said, we're underway in Hartford. Their next tweet was, halftime. Well, some soccer happened. Nothing in between for them to report on, so they'll be hoping to report on a little bit more in the second half. Why do our producers do this to us? We're sitting here.
I know, they show us the food truck all the time.
No food allowed in the booth.
You would think they would send somebody and get us some nutrition at halftime, much like the players get.
Sure, nutrition.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on now.
Let me ask you about Prince Sadie.
Yes.
Back in the lineup,
Yes.
had struggled the last 2 games. What did you make of his first 45?
So much better. One thing in particular epitomized him in that first half. When we spoke about the front three for Hartford have to work. You got to defend from the front. He won possession back for Hartford, and that set up a chance. I can understand why he was nervy to begin with, because since he's come back from injury, he has been dealing with 1 or 2 personal issues that he has struggled with. But tonight, after a good week in training, he's been given the nod to start, and I think Tab Ramos will be pretty pleased with that first half performance. Just give him the ball more.
Right. And in 10 seconds, what does Indy 11 do different?
I think they do what they're doing up until about the hour mark, and if it's still 0-0, then I think their starting position goes 10 yards further up the pitch, and they'll get chances.
45 minutes scoreless. What will the second 45 bring as darkness descends on Hartford? We'll have it for you next here on USL Championship.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. one who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Achievement takes more than having a dream. It takes having the spirit to beat the odds. It takes the courage to pursue a passion, the heart to turn a house into a home, and the determination to turn an idea into an enterprise. I'm the Hartford Buck, and I see the human in human achievement.
With insurance from the Hartford, the Buck's got your back.
Our students are looking to stand out, not blend in, which is a good thing considering the 8-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio. USJ's academic experience is built on dynamic learning opportunities that extend into labs, internships, and collaboration with faculty, and are designed to both challenge and support students in their professional development. So if you're looking for an education that will help you make your mark in the world, visit usj.edu.
Announcing the inaugural Capital City Music and Beer Festival, presented by Hoffman Auto. 80s Night with a Flock of Seagulls on July 14th, and Reggae Vibrations Tour with the legendary Wailers on July 15th. 2 days, 6 bands, and 40 brands of beer.
It is a happy birthday to Dylan, and some of his friends have come out to help celebrate.
He's got pretty much all the mascots from all the teams and the college teams in Connecticut. There's the boy from Yale.
Yale Bulldog?
The Yale Bulldog. What are they on now? Is it like the 13th or 14th version of the Yale Bulldog over the years?
I'm not sure. That's from the Springfield Thunderbirds.
There you go. There's the
Hartford Stag.
Yeah, see? That's not bad. I mean,
there's Bridgeport Islanders. Storm making the trip up 91.
Good little facility they've got now with the amphitheater in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Great concerts there.
And Brewport, the brewery that does wonderful pizza just round from there. When you get concerts, you can go to the Sport. You're a wonderful veteran of Connecticut sport. You've probably covered every single one of the teams that these mascots represent over the years.
Probably. Blaze from the Connecticut Sun. They're having a terrific year, although they just lost Brianna Jones.
That, yeah.
I have no idea who that is. I believe that's a Turtle. I think I can identify that.
That's good.
Safely. So we want to thank our producer Bobby Kaplan for hosing us on that one.
Well, his name's Miles.
Miles the Turtle. Oh, of course. Of course.
Miles, come on. You mean you didn't know who Miles
the
Turtle is?
I did not know. I knew, I'm trying to think of a famous turtle that I knew.
Donatello, Michelangelo.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's too easy. Never having had kids, I wasn't as close with them as you might have been.
This is what's known as the business as padding.
Padding, right.
The teams are back out. Thankfully, the mascot chat is about to end, and we can get back.
Hartford has conceded 18 goals in the second half.
Joe, really?
This season. No, I'm just giving you the stats. And Indy's conceded 7. So I think things have to turn. I believe things have to turn.
Oh, you're not that guy, are you?
No. I think things will turn.
Okay.
Elvis Amo. How do you think Amo played first 45? Seemed to be running well. Seemed to be active.
Yeah, but they do have Kyle Edwards on the bench.
Right.
So bearing in mind if they're playing a 3, Tab says he's not going to play the 2 of them because one would have to go out wide. The like-for-like switch would be on, albeit a 3-5-2 might be a possibility as well.
Waiting for the man in charge, Emil Ailman, to blow his whistle. Hartford defending the north goal here at Trinity Health Stadium in the second half. Sloppy pass for Torres. Thought that Merrill was going to move, and Juan Pablo kind of reprimanding his teammate there. Back to Ertl. Yannick Ertl had the only save of the first half. Oof. That was not pretty.
I think they've missed a trick by calling the turtle Miles when they could have called it after the Indy 11 goalkeeper, Ertl the Turtle.
Very nice. See? Luke Merrill.
No more turtle.
Slow to get up.
It's a strong challenge.
Hartford will restart. Connor McGlynn back to Niall Logue, back in the starting lineup after not playing last week, even though he was selected. Good challenge by Lewis. Here's Sadie. Deflected as he tried to hit the overlapping Lewis, so it'll be a throw-in on the far side for Matt Sheldon. Guy who they've asked to play a couple of different positions. Lapper almost gave it away, got it back from Torres.
But there's the bravery that we're asking for in the first half from the defenders. Don't be frightened to take a touch or two if it's on.
Almost to give away, but Quinn couldn't gather. McGlynn, long pass up on the left, but it'll sail over the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for Yannick Ertl. Just the start of things. Second 45 here at Trinity Health Stadium. Crowd settling back in their seats after visiting the various food options.
That's a ball that might be worth pursuing. Diagonal from right centre back to the space in behind on the left-hand side and vice versa for Hartford.
Ertl with a good boot in it, but unable to come up with it on the near side was Indy 11, so it'll be Merrill. None the worse for the wear for the hard tackle before.
And Merrill picked up from the open tryouts that Hartford had before the start of the season.
Now Lapper, former UConn Husky, gives it to Sheldon. Lapper, dangerous pass. Torres gets his jersey grabbed by Quinn. Nothing called. There's almost a full tackle. Looked like an Indianapolis Colts player out there. And then Quinn with the hard tackle.
Cards coming out, for the initial challenge.
For the initial challenge.
Finally. How he's got this far, Macaulay King, without being booked. Credit to the referee for playing the advantage when Elvis Amo initially had it and was fouled. And then that challenge comes in. Weird thing is, it looks like that challenge wasn't punished with a yellow card because it was Macaulay King who got the card, and that was for the initial tug on the jersey of Elvis Amo.
Third card of the year against King, who got a red while playing for Colorado Springs earlier this season. So Hartford will restart. And once again, they have Lappert up there looking to put something up in the air. Instead, sails white, and Rito can't control. So it'll be a throw-in for Jesus Vasquez. Don't miss our next match right here at Trinity Health Stadium, Saturday, July 8th at 7 o'clock against San Diego Loyal. Fans in attendance will receive a 5th season celebration commemorative poster. Go to hartfordathletic.com for tickets and more information. Have you perceived any difference in style in the first 5 for either side?
Certainly not for Indy. For Hartford, no, not really.
Here's Lewis with space, trying to load up. Gives to Sadie, back to Lewis. Goalie's out, blocks the shot. Golden opportunity for Andre Lewis. But Ertl comes out and keeps the game scoreless.
He's the reason why it's still 0-0. First half from Elvis Amo, and then this. Not the best ball there, but he keeps his run going, and he isn't tracked or picked up by Jesus Vasquez. Once again, Yannick Ertl with a fantastic save and a corner for Hartford.
From just inside the 6-yard box. Here's Torres from the right of Ertl. Up in the air, Lappert sends it wide.
The whistle had already gone, yeah.
The whistle had gone.
He's noticed either a push or some sort of foul, and if that had ended up in the back of the net, the goal wouldn't have counted.
Niall Logue called for the push.
See, look at this. Right, if this is the other way, is it a penalty? I mean, what's wrong with that? Unless it's a handball, which, again, it didn't look much. If it goes the other way, is it a penalty? No, of course it's not.
No.
Every referee in every game, it's so much easier to give the defender the decision. Chance.
Vasquez can't get there. Here's Rito. Puts it through. Kicked away. Once again, Ertl using those great feet. Sheldon and Torres, or rather Merrill and Torres keep it in. Amo open in the middle. Drop back to Lewis. Sends it up on the left side for Sheldon. To an open Sadie. Here's Lewis. Finds Sadie. Tries to split the double team. King knocks it away. Back we go the other way for Indy 11. Guenzotti hasn't had a lot of touches tonight. Front line for Indianapolis, Asante Robledo and Guenzotti not really involved much. Here's Ertl. Lappert goes in the air, but Quinn will play it and get it back. And Amo called for the push. Doesn't believe the call. Quick restart to Robledo. Open on the left is Risti. Gustavo Risti plays to Robledo. Splits the double team. Distributes on the right. Here's Asante. Long shot blocked by Lappert.
Budadi's hurt, and when Indy had the free kick there, they took it quickly, but Budadi was saying to them, no, stop, I might need treatment here, but they played it quickly and he had to get on. He was an option there, but he is just a little bit stumbling. It's worth keeping tabs on Yunus Budadi.
Now D's pay. Lappert clears it up and out of trouble.
Let's go back a minute or so ago, Joe, when Edgardo Rito had possession of the ball and he tried to put the delivery in. It took the slightest of touches off Adrian Dispey. And I don't know if it helped or hindered, but if he could have got that across without the touch of the Indy defender who did well, then it might have been more of an opportunity. But once again, defending well.
No score in the 53rd minute. Hartford Athletic trying to end the 5-match winless streak. 2-0 at home against Indy 11. Nice play by Sheldon. Lewis tried the one touch. It was defended away.
There's an example there of Andre Lewis not quite being aware of his surroundings because he was trying to play on the shoulder of what he thought was the last man. There were still 3 men behind him as well. So if he'd taken a little look off his shoulder, he actually could have made a run deeper into Indy territory and been an option further up the park.
You mentioned Yunus Budadi had gone down or looked a little bit gimpy, and now head athletic trainer Josh Frankham out to take a look at the former athletic player. Since 2018, The Fix has been Hartford County's leading wellness spa. Whether you need a quick B12 shot to increase energy or a vitamin infusion to rehydrate, this is the place to reset your mind and body. Take time, treat yourself, and invest in your health. Looks like they're working on the right leg of the 27-year-old from Belgium. Played at a couple different colleges. Started off with Creighton, then transferred to Chestnut Hill, Boston College.
Yeah, they've been playing Jack Blake, who normally is a kind of more central midfielder on the right-hand side. Obviously, Jack hurt earlier today, so he was a late scratch from the side. Yunus Budadi, who played a fair bit for Hartford last season. Hopefully he'll be able to continue.
Well, he'll have to come out for a minute, obviously.
He will. They didn't travel with many. I think they only traveled with...
Well, they only have 5 subs and a keeper.
Yep, because they would have had 6
right
if Jack Blake was available. But, yeah, they're pretty short as far as squad depth is concerned, Indy 11.
Hartford with possession. Merrill plays right to Edgardo Rito. 1v1 with Risi. Beats him up the touchline. Quinn comes to help, and Aiden Quinn plays it away. Good hustle by Quinn, the son of University of San Diego head coach Brian Quinn. As you get a look at Gustavo Risi from Araras, Brazil.
Not really been that involved in this game so far. They've been more focused on defending and making sure there's not too much space between their back 5 and their midfield 4 that Hartford can exploit. I think the game plan, which has been pretty clear from Mark Lowry's Indy 11, has worked fine for them so far. I'm just intrigued to see if there's going to come a moment in the game that they feel that they can go and get 3 points, or would they be happy with a point at a venue where Detroit have come and had a go and scored 3, Charleston have come, had a go and scored 4, and both these sides weren't scoring loads of goals before they came here.
Nice play in the middle. Merrill's had a good night. Plays it for Lewis. Ahead on the right, Rito. Stop, go, back to Lewis. Moves right, distributes to Rito. Too slow. Knocked out of bounds knocked over the touchline by Cam Lindley.
2 words he used there, too slow. The pace initially was good, the build-up, then it slowed down, and it's just, it allows Indy to get back into their positions.
Merrill throws in for Amo. Big target. Merrill gets it back, chips it towards Sadie. Sails over his head, and Budati, 1v1, wins the duel with Merrill. Or rather with Sheldon, I should say. Now Robledo gives to Asante. Back to Robledo. Amo with the challenge. Robledo plays it back to Deespe. Middle of the field it goes. Up on the left side, Gustavo Risi. So they're getting some space. But again, Hartford willing to let the back 3 play with the ball. Now Quinn comes back to help the setup. Back to an open Jesus Vasquez, and out comes Ertl to try to reset. The diminutive Asante. Ahead on the left to an open Quinn. One touch in the middle to Risi. Now Quinn gets it back. Aiden Quinn. 3 goals this year, all from the spot. Spins. Finds Vasquez. Back to Quinn. Now Cam Lindley. ACC Freshman of the Year. ACC Midfielder of the Year for the Tar Heels of the University of North Carolina. This is about as much consecutive possession time as Indy 11 has had this evening. But Lappert with a nice anticipation. Sadie wheels in the center circle, finds an open Edgardo Rito. Sends it towards the box. Deespe is there to play it out of danger. And now Risi regains. No score. Unofficial shots on goal in the match. Shots 11-1 in favor of Hartford. The problem is 3 have been on target, and Ertl has made some terrific saves. Now Risi with space. In the middle to Robledo to Asante.
It's never a foul.
He sent flying.
It's a dive.
And McGlynn not given a foul because it wasn't a foul. Now Budati with Sheldon in pursuit. Ertl way out of the goal. You know, we saw last week the game-winning goal for Charleston came on the 16th consecutive pass. Foul called on Hartford. Lappert called for the foul. That came off the yellow card against Gustavo Rito, or Edgardo Rito, I'm sorry. And then 15 consecutive completed passes, the 16, the brilliant goal by A.J. Patterson for the game winner.
Yeah, Hartford were getting deeper and deeper and basically were defending inside their own 18-yard box last week. But I've been impressed by the defenders from Hartford start to the second half. Lappert read the ball really well there and was able to intercept. Connor McGlynn's come forward, and Niall Logue as well. The bravery that we spoke about in the first half has certainly been there from the defenders. But this is not the Indy 11 that we saw. Even although Charleston Battery went a man down in the early stages when Leyland Archer was sent off in the first minute, and they were playing against 10. Indy were much better in that game. Here's a chance for Hartford.
Rito, good speed, but can't control, and Deespe controls. Wide open in the middle of the field. Quinn, square to Robledo. Tried to hit Sebastian Guenzati, and Hartford knocks it away. Andre Lewis darts into the Indy 11 half. Plays it through ball up on the left. They were calling on Amo to be offside. Instead, it will be a corner.
Yeah, the pass was timed perfectly as far as staying onside, as concerned.
5th corner of the night for Hartford.
I remember speaking, you and I spoke to Tab Ramos prior to the Louisville game, and he was talking about the defenders stepping up and one of them going in to that midfield area and trying to win the ball back. They've been good at that tonight. They've got a chance here, Hartford.
Torres from the right of Ertl. Low and volleyed out of there by King. Flourish Catering, proud to be the official caterer of Hartford Athletic. Flourish Catering offers individually packaged and buffet-style catering for teams, meetings, and organizations. Eat like an athlete with Flourish Catering. Really, in his first game back after being benched for 4, it's been a rocking chair night for Richard Sanchez.
Yeah.
Now on the run, McGlynn. Only Danny Barrera has played more games in the green and blue than Connor McGlynn. Now Rito up the right touchline. Sprints away from Robledo. Reese's there to knock it over the touchline. It'll be a throw-in for Rito. Finds an open McGlynn who comes up. Drops back to Logue, and Hartford will switch the field over to Lappert on the left. Richard Sanchez way out of the goal to yell out instructions or provide a passing angle. No score, 63rd minute. Torres with space. Looking for an option, gives to Rito. Torres looked like he wasn't happy that time with the run of Merrill. Now Lewis. Over to Matt Sheldon. Lapper. To Sadie. And Prince just didn't concentrate. Went off his boot. I think in tennis you would call that an unforced error. Now Lindley. Up ahead on the right. Indy forms the attack. Robledo moves up on the left. Queens, New York net, if we think he's got family and friends in the stands tonight here at Trinity Health. As we hit the 64th minute of play in a scoreless tie.
I don't think this is a game that's going to take much winning. I think it's there for both sides.
Well, and you would think at this point it's a one-goal game, right?
Way it's gone so far, yeah.
Robledo. Square ball to an open Budati. Up on the right to Asante. Expected Quinn to cut. He did not. Lappert steals it away. Taken back by Asante in the box. Blocked. Niall Logue to the rescue.
Torres sloppy again.
Amo dribbles away from King. Is Barrera for Torres a substitution you think we might see?
What does that say on the bit of paper that I wrote down 5 minutes ago?
It says I'd like a hamburger,
no,
fries,
Stop
Barrera for Torres.
And Edwards as well. I'm trying to work out.
There's a tackle on by Robledo, and he will get booked.
Yeah, the other change that I've got is Edwards for Merrill. Now, I know Tab Ramos has said he doesn't think they can play as a 3 with Sadie on one side, Edwards on the other, and Elvis Amo. But I think Rito as a forward has had its moments. I don't know if it's worked because they haven't given him enough of the ball. So those would be my 2 changes, Barrera for Torres and Edwards for Merrill. The problem being it still doesn't fix this defensive midfield issue. And speaking of issues, we saw in the first half there was a problem for Yannick Ertel, who took a boot from Robin Lappert. And hopefully this is not a delayed concussion, because I know we've got the boys and girls behind the scenes trying to see if there was a contact injury with this, and if there wasn't, then
Elvis Amo went over to check on his former teammate. Westfield Bank, proud to support Hartford Athletic and all they do to make our communities better. Need more convenience from your bank? At Westfield Bank, you can bank your way. Learn more at westfieldbank.com. Is the head athletic trainer for Indy 11, Josh Frankham, out to take a look at the goalie, Yannick Ertl, who's had several chances that he's had to be precise on as you look at a young Hartford Athletic fan.
There's so much for young kids to do when they come to this stadium as well. And even when the gates opened, there was balloons, little animal balloons that they can make and get their face painted. And loads of food to try, and football, darts, which is great. They really do a good job here.
Terrific by everybody in the athletic organization. With Mark Donaldson, I'm Joe D'Ambrosio. We are in the 67th minute. Looked like I only went to John Hopkins for one day. Watching Ertl bounce around, looked like it was some sort of a cramp or something of the like.
Yeah, I've been called many things. I've never been called a doctor, so I'm not going to stray into territory that I've got no clue over.
So Hartford restarts, and not to the satisfaction of Emil Aylman, the man in charge tonight in the blue shirt.
He's been fine tonight.
Now Sheldon in the middle. Torres open. Looks right. Finds Prince Sadie.
Yeah, they switched him with Rito.
Here's Sadie. Gets around Reese into the box. Cleared out. Corner number 6 for Hartford.
Really interesting, because he did most of his good work prior to his injury from the right-hand side. Now, Rito's like a Swiss Army knife. This is his 4th different position since joining the club, but immediately the switch has led to this corner.
Torres sends it in. And we got a foul.
The phantom foul.
And it'll be free kick for Indy. And the first sub of the night for Indy 11 will be Mizak Zerome, who is a defender by trade. He's coming in for Harrison Robledo. So what does that tell you about what Mark Lowry is trying to do?
I think he's trying to go back to Indy with a point.
Ninth game of the year for the 33-year-old for Haiti.
What it's going to do is going to move Macaulay King further forward into midfield.
Again, missing Jack Blake in the middle of the field. There's a sloppy goal kick, and Hartford takes over possession. Now Merrill with a little space, plays back to Torres. Torres heads left. East-west pass on the far side to Sheldon. Gives on the left for Rito. Knocked away by Despay. Lappert keeps it in the offensive half, and they play back to Niall Logue. On the right side, Robin Lappert. Frenchman plays it ahead on the left. Back in the middle to Torres. Looking to create. Square on the right. Merrill on the sprint. Pushes it too far ahead. Kept in by Hartford. Quickly back to Torres. He finds Sadie. Now it's Lewis. Short pass to Sadie. Square right. Open Merrill. Merrill back to Prince. 1v1. Taking off his boot.
Left
and Sadie with a foul.
Yeah,
and Sadie with a yellow card.
Just left a little bit of a calling card there, Prince Sadie.
And for Prince Sadie, on a team with 52 yellow cards, that's his first of the season. Tonight's Junior Fire Marshal night, so please join us in thanking founding partner, the Hartford, for educating children about fire safety with their Junior Fire Marshal program. Visit juniorfiremarshal.com to learn more. Tab Ramos not happy on the near side, as once again we see the head athletic trainer Josh Frankham this time to work on the midfielder Cam Lindley.
Yeah,
who was the victim of that tackle.
I say he's having a long distance conversation. It's a one-way conversation. He's getting nothing back from the referee, but he's giving plenty. You can just see Tab Ramos there with his arms outstretched at the bottom of the screen. So there's 20 minutes to go, and one thing that Tab has done this season a lot of the times is his substitutions are probably on the later side rather than on the earlier side, and the subs behind the goal are doing a pretty vigorous warm-up. Now, since coming back from injury, Prince Sadie has come off the bench. We haven't seen him play 90 minutes. I think Kyle Edwards is a shoo-in, given the form that he's in, to play some part. So it might just be the case of putting Edwards on for Prince Sadie and have Rito roaming around because he's still on the left-hand side.
Once again, Ertl with really another aimless goal kick. As you get a look at the fireworks in the background. Looks like a Friday night at the Donaldson compound.
Yeah, right. Someone else is paying. Douglas Martinez, the Honduran attacking player, is getting ready to come on for Indy.
Asante went down, but they say play on. Here's Quinn. Along the near touch line. Plays it right to Amo.
Nice.
Nice move by Elvis. Lead ball. Here's Lewis on the run and coming over to knock it out of bounds is Dispe, so it'll be a throw.
I like him. He's got pace. And central defenders with pace aren't easy to come by.
He was one of the acquisitions at season start from FC Tulsa.
He got that red card 2 weeks ago against Hartford, back from suspension.
6th minute. Knocked away by Zerome. And Indy 11 tries to play it back to Ertl, and he kicks it out of danger right to the head of McGlynn. Following up, though, is Vasquez. No score. You're in the 73rd minute. Indy really has not put any pressure on Richard Sanchez. But now here's Quinn. Plays it ahead on the right. Budati with it. Plays it back. Here's a shot from distance, and it goal! Cam Lindley in the 73rd minute, and Indy jumps on top 1-0.
If ever one play summed up Hartford's season, it's that. That is a world-class goal from Cam Lindley. He could hit 100 of them. I don't know how many of them he would score, but it would be in the single digits. It's a stunning strike. And this is what happened last week against Charleston. I mean, come on. That's as likely to end up in Hartford, downtown, as it is to end up in the back of the net. It's the sweetest strike. It's a brilliant strike. But once again, Hartford are penalised and punished for not finding a way to the other end and in the back of the net. That is a brilliant goal from Cam Lindley. And I'm just thinking, before that goal, what are the Indy 11 fans thinking about their team's approach to this game? Because from Mark Lowry, it's been a cautionary tale. They've come here defensively, set up on a 5-4-1. Again, we don't know if they were ever going to push forward and try and maybe put more pressure on Richard Sanchez. They don't need to now, because they have a stunning strike and an opening goal. And if you're Tab Ramos, every week we say it, how many mirrors have been broken in his house or the coaching staff? Because Indy 11 are ahead. That is a stunning goal from Cam Lindley.
So, the first goal of the year for Cam Lindley. And Indy on top 1-0. So now, the impetus on Hartford to press the attack even more. Here's Rito. Doesn't play it. Goes off his boot over the touchline. The Performance Lab is an all-inclusive model that brings the latest technologies for pain relief, wellness, and mobility together under one roof. With one-on-one treatments and a customized approach to fit your needs, the Performance Lab will get you moving and feeling better. Budati got the assist on that. The brilliant shot for Younes Budati, his second assist of the year. And it's 1-0.
So similar to last week, because I remember saying that Charleston were about to make a change. And they were, and then they scored. And Douglas Martinez is still waiting. He's probably going to come on now, but they're going to make a double change, and Roberto Molina is going to come on as well. But it was A.J. Patterson last week,
right,
with a stunning strike from way downtown.
And I was going to ask you this earlier, but we're seeing teams firing shots from farther out against Athletic. Do they see a crease in the defense?
Well, last week it was because they were getting deeper and deeper and they had the space. There, as I say, that's probably a 1 in 50 chance that that one goes in. But when you're bottom of the table, and they say luck evens itself out, could they have been closer to stopping them or to close it down? Here's an example, right? So you've got Lewis and you've got Juan Pablo Torres. They're never getting there. They probably don't need to get there. I mean, if he tries that in training, how many times is he doing it? And he's under no pressure there. This is one of these goals that you say, this is all about the goal scorer. Because another look at that showed that Andre Lewis and Juan Pablo Torres, they were probably in the right positions. It's just a brilliant goal.
Lindley got a yellow card for excessive celebration.
I would have had the top off. I'd been running around the pitch. I would have been arrested for the celebrations. And if you score a goal like that, you deserve that. Do what you need to. Take the yellow. Who cares?
So, as Mark said, Roberto Molina, Douglas Martinez, two players who are more offensive-minded coming in the game for the Indy team, which now has the 1-0 lead.
That's not a foul on Elvis Amo. He ran into the defender. Now, here's a chance.
Here's Lewis. Dishes on the left. Sadie. Too slow. Just too slow.
It's the second touch. If you're not confident, and I know he's better on the right-hand side, if you're not confident to hit it first time, you're going to have to get better on that side. And that's a sore one here for Jesus Vasquez. There, I mean, he's not predominantly left-footed, but you've got to be better. You've got to have the confidence to take the first touch, which is the strike, because the minute you take that first touch to set yourself up, you know that the opposition are going to try and close you down. It's been a game of missed opportunities for Hartford. That little bit of quality lacking in the box, or a bit of wonderful goalkeeping for the opposition keeper.
Josh Frankham, the head athletic trainer for Indianapolis, will be a tired gentleman going back to the team hotel tonight as he's on the pitch again. Holiday Inn Express Newington, conveniently located in the heart of the dining and shopping district of Newington on the Berlin Turnpike, Route 5 and 15. Whether you need one night or an extended stay, the hotel will make your stay convenient and cost-effective.
The Indy 11 account. Why? You got to be hating on the admin, Donald. I wasn't hating on the admin. I was giving you praise. There wasn't much for you to tweet about. Yeah. I tell you what, if you don't make the most of that goal from distance, that is a world-class strike. There's no hate coming from here. Absolutely zero. And now it's an interesting last 12 minutes. Kyle Edwards finally getting the call to come on. Niall Logue is coming off. But for Indy, it's got to be more of the same. There's no point in getting deeper or trying to become more defensive. What they have done has worked so far. But now they've got a different type of threat. And now we will see Elvis Amo, Prince Sadie, and also Kyle Edwards. But the delivery has to be better from Juan Pablo Torres.
The first shot on target tonight is the first goal of the night for Indy 11. Here's a corner. Again. Headed out of there by Lindley. Hartford with its 7th corner of the night. Ertl goes up to clear it out. Kept in by McGlynn. Here's Edgardo Rito towards the box. And we'll get another throw in for Hartford. Rito quickly on the restart, and he threw it to McGlynn, who was getting instructions from Tab Ramos. Quenzati went down, no call. Tried to say he got hit in the face by an Eric McGuinn hand, and instead it's cleared out. Look at how far Sanchez off his line to keep the ball in action. Luke Merrill, as things starting to get a little chippy here, gives it away, and Reese plays it upfield, where it'll be run down by McGlynn.
I'm not sure how long that Douglas Martinez has been standing there, and now for the last 5 minutes he's been joined by Roberto Molina, but still no changes.
Lindley and Torres. Lindley wins it. Play on. Here's Quinn. Aiden Quinn. Pushed from behind by Amo. That'll be called.
Now the changes, surely.
Amo called for the foul. Tonight's Business Alliance partner of the match, JCJ Architecture. 1-0 Indy 11 as you get a look at the push by Amo. Pretty clear call for Emil Ailman. So Martinez and Molina
still waiting.
Still standing there. Quinn with the direct kick off the restart. Asante there as well. Cam Lindley joins it. Now Asante strides off. Solomon Asante, 51 goals, 48 assists, 4th all-time in USL for helpers. Let's see what they dial up here already with a 1-0 lead. King also there. Quinn distributes on the right. Budati plays it back to Jérôme. No Dispe.
It's just ball retention now from Indy.
Yep. Now they'll play a game of keep away with a 1-0 lead, although I would think we'd see significant stoppage time.
This is going to be the longest time from getting ready to come on for Douglas Martinez to finally getting the chance to get onto the pitch. It was prior to their goal, which was scored by Cam Lindley in the 73rd minute, that Douglas Martinez was waiting to come on. So it's probably a good 11 and a half minutes.
Roberto Molina comes in from Macaulay King. Molina just picked up on May 18th. He had started the last two. Wasn't playing before that day, previously with the Las Vegas Lights. And here comes Douglas Martinez into the match. And he will come in for Solomon Asante. 1-0 Indy on the terrific strike by Cam Lindley from space. Really kind of reminiscent of the A.J. Patterson goal last week. Here's a long ball played by Edwards. Wins it, but Vasquez bangs it downfield. Sanchez plays it off to McGlynn. Torres comes back to help with the form up. Gives to Andre Lewis. Lewis pass up ahead for Edwards. Instead, Indy gets there first. Good hustle by Merrill to steal. Here's Luke Merrill. Tried to play a through ball to Edwards, but Vasquez was there to restart in the other direction. Now Matt Sheldon distributes to Lewis. Ahead it goes to Amo. Amo has taken the captain's armband from Niall Logue. Gives to Merrill. Back to McGlynn. Hartford trying to form up. Edwards. Lewis. On the left. Chipped in. Sails wide. Goal kick. Indy 11.
When you have a lack of quality like that in the final third, and that was Prince Saidi that time, then you can't really have too many complaints. They've had their chances, but the best two opportunities for Prince Saidi, one, the shot, and two, the cross there, both been on his weaker left foot. So you either play him on the right, you get him to come back in on his right foot, or you get him to work on his left foot.
Girdle plays it into the Hartford half. McGlynn says it's off Roberto Molina, and the men in charge agree. There's a push against Amo, or they call it the other way. They call the foul on Amo. And he has a word with the man in charge, Mr. Aylman.
The Hartford bench was expecting that to go Hartford's way, but Indy get the decision and on they go.
Budati up ahead, gets it back. Here's Budati to the goal scorer Lindley. Plays the ball back to Jérôme. And it'll be a throw-in on the far side in the 86th minute. Hartford Athletic, proud to team up with Stop and Shop in all of our community efforts as we work together year-round in the fight against food insecurity. 1-0, Indy 11 on the Lindley goal from distance in the 73rd minute. Beautiful piece of marksmanship. Lapper and Guenzati battles. Hartford regains. And, I mean, even though we're going to have, I think, significant stoppage time, the urgency just doesn't seem to be there from Hartford. Lead ball for Edwards, and Ertl will grab it for his teammate. Tab Ramos said earlier the week that the team is working hard. They had a great training session on Wednesday, and that's all well and good, Mark, but at some point it's a result-driven sport.
Means nothing to the fans.
Right.
That have shown up once again in their numbers. They want a result. They don't want hard luck stories, because it's becoming a book that you know the ending to.
Budati on the turnover. To Martinez. Through ball to Martinez. Lapper deflected it. Good job by Robin Lapper. It is Douglas Martinez almost snuck in. Back comes Hartford. Edgardo Rito dribbles around Gustavo Risi. And a little discussion there. And
that's a nonsense.
2 reds.
2 yellows. 2 yellows. It's an absolute nonsense.
And for...
You tell me what Rito's done wrong here. There's a kick out. There's a pull of the jersey. Rito's arms stay down. Get off me. That's not violent or anything like that. Rito has done nothing wrong there. It's an easy thing for a referee to do, is just give them both a yellow card, but come on now.
Here's Sadie. Distributes to Merrill. Rito open on the right. Gives it to Edwards. Back to Merrill. Dribbles around Molina. Sends towards the box. Ertl elevates, punches it out, and punches it out of danger. On the counter, Guenzati. Plays it back. Now Quinn. Deals left to Risi. Good slide tackle to knock it away by Connor McGlynn, but the possession remains in Indy's favor, and Tab Ramos very gently put the ball on the touchline for Gustavo Risi. Guenzati plays it ahead. Torres back to help.
A little bit of a late one there on Robin Lapper as well. That challenge coming in for Aidan Quinn. There's a big difference this evening. Hartford have played a lot better, but again, the fans will say, yeah, but look at the result. Performances don't matter if you keep losing games, although it is a sign of progress for the coaching staff.
Rito. Merrill overlaps on the right towards Edwards. Headed down, over the goal line, corner kick for Hartford.
Edwards can claim all he wants. It's not a handball. Arm was by the side. It is a corner, though.
8th corner of the night.
How many of them have been good?
For Hartford.
Maybe 2?
At the most.
Change of corner kick taker. Connor McGlynn.
Connor McGlynn will replace Torres, who has taken most of the other corners. As we approach the 90th minute and stoppage time. Headed down, and then Torres can't control. Not a good corner kick by McGlynn there. And Lindley was the one who deflected it, and Rito knocked it over the sideline. So it'll be a throw-in for Gustavo Risi. Because pretty soon we'll find out how much Brignall Vineyard stoppage time we have. Risi to Guenzati. Wide open on the right. Budati. Long, uncontested run. Now Martinez. And they'll play a game of keep away. Zerome boots it upfield. McGlynn gets ahead on it, but right to a red shirt. Quinn backs it back to Vasquez. Plays in the middle for Molina. Dribbles away from the contest of Merrill. Gives it on the right side, Budati. Plays it towards the box.
8
cleared
minutes,
out of
Joe.
there. Brignall Vineyard stoppage time. 8 minutes of stoppage time. Well, I thought we'd have a lot. And we will.
Douglas Martinez, who came on as a sub, is trying to take 8 minutes
to get to the ball.
They're trying to take the sting out, quite rightly so. You've got the advantage. You're not happy that 8 minutes has gone up. You want to take the sting out of the game, and Don't be surprised if this is taken short because Aidan Quinn has gone over there.
This just the second corner for Indy 11 tonight. And they'll play a little keep away on the far side. But Quinn can't control it. It goes over the touchline. And it'll be a Hartford throw-in, though Hillman tells Hartford to step back a pace. Stolen by Indy. Here's Molina, one of the subs who's come in for Mark Lowry. Dispe. Here's a good run towards the box, cleared out of danger. And good play by Martinez just to let it roll over the touchline, and Indy will take their time on the throw-in.
I don't think Hartford has defended that badly this evening. I don't think they've had that much to do. But when you get a strike like that, it's just world class, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it. It makes you rue and regret the chances you had and were unable to capitalize. Yes, some were fantastic saves by Yannick Ertel, and others were opportunities that they should have done better with. So it's another week that goes by without, as it stands right now, any points. And Tab Ramos is scratching his head saying, what more do we need to do to get either a point from a game or back among the wins? He's got to find a way, because you can't keep losing games.
And once again, Indy will waste time. They knock it off of Amo. So another corner kick for Indy. 1-0 on the highlight goal by Cam Lindley on the set by Budati in the 73rd minute. The only shot on target thus far by Indy 11. Played into the box. Guinzotti's shot saved by Sanchez. Good save by Richard Sanchez, preventing what would have been the insurance goal.
You saw that late. That's a really good save.
Played up ahead for Edwards in the box. Can't control, and another goal kick.
Well, that's not on Edwards, and there's cramp now for one of the Indy defenders, understandably so, because they've had to put a lot of work and effort into this game. It's the quality of pass forwards to Edwards there. You can't control it because, I mean, that's a very difficult ball to control. So one of the other issues Tab Ramos has got is to keep getting the players' heads back up after a defeat, and he managed it this week. The players, according to the coaching staff, they had a really good week in training. They were able to bounce back from that defeat. But how many times can you get slapped in the face before you start to feel it?
I would think at some point it becomes frustrating and too repetitive.
So how do you change it?
Let's try changing the lineup. We know that.
Well, 16 different lineups. I mean, little things tonight. I think Prince Sadie's been much better, but for me, Prince Sadie has to be on the right-hand side because he's had a couple of opportunities on his left foot, and that isn't his strongest foot. So how do you put Prince Sadie on the right? You could put Rito at right wing back, but how do you play Kyle Edwards and Elvis Amo together if you're playing Prince Sadie on the right? Because he's saying that Kyle Edwards can't play coming in on the left-hand side. So it's a puzzle.
Amo and Budati in a collision, and Elvis Amo gets his third yellow of the season.
So Tristan Hodges back at the start of July, so he'll go back into the side. The key one is Kembo Kibato, the defensive midfielder, the Canadian who's recovering and he's back in training. So that'll provide a bit of stability. And I said defensively, it's not been that bad this evening from Hartford.
Here's a turnover. Molina plays it into the box. Here's a shot and a goal. And that should do it. Molina with a beautiful setup, and it's 2-0, Indy 11.
When you push as many bodies forward, when you've got as many attackers on the pitch, defensively you're all at sea because most of your players are further forward. It looked onside. It's a good finish, and it wraps it up. And I tell you what, it took a long time for him to get on the field, Douglas Martinez, but when he did, he celebrates with the other player, Roberto Molino, who got the assist. Douglas Martinez with the second goal, and for him, it was worth the wait.
First goal of the year for the Honduran, who got picked up from Sacramento Republic in the middle of March. And this crowd starts to make their way towards the exit. Disappointed. And again, another late goal against Hartford.
Yeah, I think you can put an asterisk beside
Yes,
that one because it's not the defence that they had earlier because, as I say, they've taken off the captain. They've gone to 4 at the back, which in essence was 2 at the back because they're trying to push to get a goal back. And there is going to be space for Indy to exploit. You've still got to score, and it was done really well. They've been very clinical this evening. And Mark Lowry's game plan of coming here, keeping it tight, getting the goal like they did, you have to say, even though a lot of Indy fans at halftime were probably saying, come on, we've got to have more of a go. This is a team that's there for the taking. Well, patience has paid off.
They've played a textbook road game.
They have.
Credit to Mark Lowry and his staff, and mostly to the players for executing. And for Hartford, it is going to be wait till a week from Monday night in Virginia against Loudoun United, who's one of their 2 wins this season.
And I don't think it's a bad thing, Joe, that it's on the road.
Now Molina with plenty of space. Here's Roberto Molina on the left for Risi. Gives to Molina. Keeps it in play. Edwards way back to help. Off the head of Risi. 2-0. Risi goes sprawling. Edwards with the foul. And we talked earlier how Hartford had not had a yellow card in the first 70 minutes. They now have 4, giving them a season total of 55. And again, Tab Ramos told us this week that he wants the team to be aggressive and he's not concerned with the yellow cards.
He's got more pressing concerns.
There's a push.
That's an offside.
But first called offside, correct. So, we're reaching the end of stoppage time. And if you have seen this movie before, you have. And we have reached full time. So, Indy 11 has come into Connecticut's capital city. And on goals by Cam Lindley and Douglas Martinez, will go home with a victory, and for Hartford, the misery continues. Final score in full time. Indy 11-2. Hartford nothing. Mark and I will be back to wrap this one up next. You're watching USL Championship Soccer. Don't miss our next match. Hartford will play at Loudoun United Monday night, July 3rd, down in Virginia. And, of course, our next match here is on July 8th at Trinity Health Stadium against San Diego Loyal at 7 p.m. Fans in attendance receive a 5th season celebration commemorative poster Go to HartfordAthletic.com for tickets and more information. 2 late strikes, the brilliant goal by Cam Lindley, and then the stoppage time goal by Douglas Martinez. And that man, the former Hartford keeper, Yannick Ertl, had himself a heck of a night.
Everybody played their part for Indy. This will feel like a good win as they head back. From a Hartford perspective, they've taken 1 point in 2 weeks from 2 games against Indy 11 that they probably should have taken 6 out of 6. That's fair, isn't it?
I'd say so.
So they have to find a way to get a scrappy win, to somehow find a way to get 3 points. Because there's no point saying we deserve this or we deserve that, because that story gets old pretty quickly. You've got a fan base that comes out week after week and will continue to do so, but there comes a point they need something back. This goal, if this isn't in the Sports Centre top 10, I don't know what will be. It's a stunner from Cam Lindley. It was the first of the night for Indy 11, and they would get a second late on and take all 3 points back.
For Mark Donaldson and our entire crew, I'm Jody Ambrosio. 2-0, Indy 11 beats Hartford Athletic. Thanks for joining us.